Ve bazı izleyicileri merhabalar. Microsoft'un Levent İstanbul'daki ofisindeyiz. Yanımızda Joe Wilson var. Microsoft'un geliştirici ilişkilerinden sorumlu küresel genel müdürü. Kendisiyle ziyaretin sebebini ve Microsoft'un geliştiricilere yönelik servislerini ve hizmetlerini konuşuyor olacağız. Hello Joe, welcome to Turkey. And may I start with the purpose of your visit?
The purpose of my visit. Yeah. So there's sort of two parts to my visit. One is to visit and work with our local office. Microsoft has been in Turkey for over 20 years, right? So we continue to be here. We continue to invest. So I'm going, as the worldwide leader for what we do, it's part of my responsibility to come and work with people. The second is to get to know the market even better, right? Where can it go? What can we do? What are the opportunities? So there's both a sort of check-in with the local guys and also, look forward in the opportunity.
So you've been here for, this is the third day? No?
The third day, yes.
So far, what do you think about the market? What has changed compared to the last year?
Well, so I don't know if I can compare to last year, but I've probably been to Turkey 7 times over the course of my time with Microsoft, which is only about 7 or 8 years. So I've come quite often. And there's, to me, what's changed has been, and I'm going to focus on the developer world, right? That's my job, is the continued sort of energy of what is there, innovation, so creativity. Turkish developers, hands down, one of the most creative groups I've ever met. The things that you make, the things that you build, the sort of explorations. So that's been something that's been really fun to see and talk about while I've been here.
Okay, that was actually my last question, but I was ask it now. So, how many developers, Turkish developers, do you think are there in Turkey who use, who develop apps on Windows Phone?
I don't have numbers. I don't have statistics for that. I know that across the Microsoft platform in whole, if you take everything from Windows on the commercial and the consumer side, you take the phone, you take Xbox, you look into the cloud, you look across Office, you go into SQL Server, and you continue to go. There's, a great percentage of the Turkish developers are working with Microsoft in one way or the other.
And also, let me tell you that your title is also interesting. Actually, Worldwide General Manager in charge of Developer Relations. It's a rare one.
It's a rare one.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
What should we expect? What does a person having such a title do, actually?
That's a great question. I won't make the obvious joke of tell me when you find out. So I would say that, my responsibility across the globe is to engage with our local offices and basically make sure that we are, in the minds and on the hands of developers with our platforms, with our products, with our services, and help them see the opportunity that goes on with Microsoft. This is ecosystem. These sort of companies that in the technology space are all about ecosystems. And one of the things that sort of bothers me about some of our competitors is they refuse to invest with people locally. They want to do everything from central headquarters in the US, and we look at that as sort of not the right strategy. Developers need both your support and your attention. So we're going to make offices locally, and we're going to support that locally. So a guy in my job is supposed to say, are we doing the right thing? Are we engaging? Are we asking questions? Are we giving out software? Are we helping people when they have questions and showing up when the time comes? So it's a general answer, but it's the way I look at it.
Yeah, sure. And let's talk about Windows Azure, if you like.
Sure.
Increasingly more people here in Turkey started using it. What do you expect about its market performance? In Turkey, particularly, if you have any idea, and what can the developers do actually using this platform?
So I don't have a performance statistic to share with you today in terms of certainly Turkish in specific, but I would say we see everyone who works with the Microsoft platform sort of trying out things on Azure. There's such a great connection between that cloud service and our platform, obviously, but Azure is far more than just our platform. If you know it, you also know that it engages with open source. You can use open source code on it. You can do not only infrastructure as a service, like say an Amazon would do, but I think the special part of Azure is the platform as a service. So what can they do with it? What would you do if you had infinite compute cycles available to you and it was an operating system sort of in the sky, platform as a service? I look at things like online gaming, I look at things like media, I look at things that scale up and scale down in a very short amount of time, and what I see developers doing is exactly those types of things. They take advantage of the concept of platform as a service and they go break the rules of sort of old world software development.
Do you have any best examples in your mind?
No specific examples. It's not so much, and not specific to Turkey as well. But I would just say, I'm just trying to think of any particular customer. There are banks, where there's security issues that sometimes you can use Azure. There are gaming companies, specifically gaming companies that basically do online gaming, but also sort of put an app on a phone and run all the back end off of Azure. So those are some examples of categories.
Mm-hmm. Okay, lastly, there are some opportunities offered by Microsoft to the developers, like free usage or some packages. Can you give me some details about that so that our viewers maybe just come to Microsoft and ask for it?
Yeah, sure. So there's different ways to look at developers. You can't just say developers and so that's the end of it. You got to look at there's different sort of classes and time of life. So there's students. So there's a lot of opportunities we do with students through the universities and directly through programs like say DreamSpark or Imagine Cup or student partners. We have a big group of student partners in the office today. You heard them when you were walking in. And then you have things for the entrepreneurial community as well, like startups, and that's the programs like a BizSpark. Then you get into sort of the professional space, and you have everything from MSDN to the products that we offer, and on and on and on. So I think it depends on what you're trying to do. If you are a professional, meaning I work in sort of a corporate environment, there's a certain set of things we want to do. If you want to go start a company, we're very interested in that too. And again, I go back to the same principle. Like we're here, we're offering these types of services for entrepreneurs, and we'll show up if you have problems and we'll talk about it and help you get through it as well.
I hope that it will get more traction here in Turkey, and thanks a lot for joining us.
My pleasure, thanks for having me, and hope to be back soon.
Soon.